Audience, welcome back to the Keep It Stupid Simple Labs. Yes, this is our full name. The KISS Lab full name is Keep It Stupid Simple Labs, and that's what we focused on. We explain the most complex topics in the most simplest manner. Okay, and if you already watched the part 1, then this is great, because this is the continuation of that video. This is the second part. If you didn't watch it, you can, and even if you are new here, don't worry, because I'm going to recap. So let's start for the topic. Guys, previously we know that we had a simple way of understanding how things work. Okay, so we were talking about the internet. Okay, so internet, let's suppose if you want to search FB. FB means Facebook, right? So Facebook in your smartphone. Okay, so what happened that you are going to search the Facebook into where? In your Google Chrome, right? In your Google Chrome. So this is your browser, right? Your browser, the browser I am using, right? So this is your Google Chrome, right? So you are going to search Facebook, and the moment you touch this Facebook button, what happens is your smartphone sends this particular request to where? This thing sends the request to the nearest tower. Okay, pardon my drawing if you don't understand what I am trying to do, but it is a tower. Okay, it is not a old auntie, but it is a tower. Okay, so the tower. Okay, so the data goes from your smartphone in the form of packets. We say this as packets, right? So data goes in the form of packets to the tower, right? And then this tower sends this data to the ISP. Okay, this tower sends this data to the ISP, which is your Jio or Airtel or any number of ISP which is internet service provider. Okay, then what happen? Then ISP checks the internet connection, checks and verify if this request is actually eligible in your country. Okay, so if facebook.com is yes eligible, then what ISP do is ISP resolver understand the DNS. You know what happened, that Facebook, what you search is FB, so FB goes to you get a particular domain name, right? You got a domain name. The moment you search the facebook.com, like if I search here like FB, then I will get what? This facebook.com, right? So facebook.com is what? Domain name, right? So your ISP turn this particular domain name into a proper IP address. Okay, an IP address. Okay, so the IP address of Facebook, now ISP know that okay, I have to send this Facebook request to the particular IP of particular server. A server, this is so many different computers, you can say there are so many computers. I'm just these are just servers. Okay, and there must be a computer, there must be even a laptop can become a server. Okay, so it's nothing but a 24/7 on computer. Okay, so ISP understand that okay, this guy want facebook.com, it turns it into the IP address. He figure out that okay, this particular server exists in USA. So what he do is he sends the data of okay, my user want, my client want facebook.com. He sends this data through what? Fiber cable. Okay, in the previous video I already shown what fiber cable looks like. Okay, so he sends the data through the fiber cable to the particular server of USA based Facebook company. Okay, Facebook company. Then Facebook do what? Facebook sends the HTML, CSS, JavaScript based file, HTML, CSS, JavaScript based files and other files, other things through the same fiber cable. Okay, through the same fiber cable, through ISP, through towers to your smartphone. Okay, to your smartphone, and that's how you get facebook.com, and that's the process, the behind the scene process which we get facebook.com. Okay, I gave you all the details in the most simplest form, simplest way possible. Okay, let's move on. So this is the PDF, and yeah, so this is what I told you, the internet recap. We have a data flow, okay, the client and server communication, and now we are going towards the main topic. Okay, so the advanced stuff right now we are going to talk about. So the client and server. Okay, client, what is client? Client is the user. Okay, that particular device itself that wants the data. Okay, and the client sends that request. Okay, so most of the time your client is nothing but the one who is using smartphone or laptop. He is the one who is sending the request. Okay, sending the request. This is the thing. Okay, I need a pen. Yeah, this. So he uses the phone and sends the data. This is the client. Okay, then server is a programmed computer which is on 24/7. Okay, the server is a programmed computer who is on for 24/7, and the server has only one job, that is receive the request and sends the request back to the client's phone. Okay, that's the thing. Now we talk about IP addresses. Okay, so now my question is, do you think that an IP address is a permanent number? The IP address, do you think that IP address is a permanent number? What do you think? Mostly people think that IP address is like through this IP address you can track anyone. Yes, this is right, that yeah, that ISP provides you the IP address. Okay, the ISP provide IP address to your particular smartphone, but actually it is not permanent, it is temporary. Okay, it is temporary. Why it is temporary? Well, the device, okay, the device which you think that had a fixed permanent identifier, that is MAC address. Okay, not IP address. So actually what happen is that every device can have a MAC address. Okay, and which is a device address for local network, local area network, LAN. If you ever heard about this term, LAN, local area network. Okay, so it can have other codes or QR code or barcode or any number of identifiers to know its physical existence. Okay, so The IP address is something, it is given from your ISP, and MAC address is given from your manufacturer, the device you have. Okay, the smartphone you have its MAC address, okay, which is coming from its manufacturer. It can be like Nokia, okay, it can be like iPhone, right? iPhone means Apple, okay. So that's the thing, okay. The ISP which gives you, and which gives you to send you data and to know where that data is going, that is IP address. Okay, the IP address is actual address in your internet. Great. Now the thing is that IP address is your permanent identification on the internet, and MAC address is identification in your local area network. Simple. Local area network means two devices or other computers are exchanging data to each other. Okay, two devices. It can be an laptop. Okay, it can be a laptop which is connected to the smartphone, a smartphone which is connected to some kind of like a router, which, and this, through this router there is another smartphone connected to that. So this, this local system, this is in the local area, which is called LAN. Okay, which is called LAN. So let's show you the, difference. This is what the difference I was talking about. If you don't understand what is IP address, your IP address is the house address, okay, which is like gets the mail to the right particular building, your home, your particular home. Okay, great. Now the MAC address is the person's name. Okay, this home is owned by a person, right? So this mail is going to someone. If this is the postman, okay, if this is the postman and he wants to give this mail to whom, to that particular person. So to that particular person, that person is that particular device which has MAC address, okay, and the home which he live in is the IP address. Now the correlation is that it can change when you move to a new office or new home or anything, your address changes. But when it comes to MAC address, it's fixed. You have a particular name, right? You have a particular name. Priya, Sujana, Trishnit, right? Akshay. These are permanent names. Yes, you can change them in our terms, but MAC address can't be changed. Okay. Your internet provider gives your home network its public IP address. Your internet provider, the ISP, provides you the IP address, and the device manufacturer assign it at the factory. The IP address does the long distance job. The internet uses your friend's public IP address to get the message to their home network's router. Yeah, the router. So IP address somehow like it locate your address in the internet, right? Not your device address. It give you a temporary address. MAC address does the local job. Once the message arrives at your friend's router through the network router to your friend's router, the router looks for your friend's device on the home network. It uses the device unique MAC address to make sure the message goes to right device. Through the person name, this particular postman will going to ask. There are so many different home there, okay, but this postman is going to ask if Ashish is here, okay, if Ashish is here or not. The real Ashish came, and this parcel is sent to the particular person, right? So that's the thing. This is local area network which I am talking about. Now let's talk about the web. Okay, so here is the thing, guys. Web has three different variations: web 1.0, web 2.0, and web 3.0. The web has evolved dramatically from static pages to interactive platform. Now here is the thing, web 1.0 is the early internet, okay, which is where you can only read anything on the website. It was the early form of the internet where if you search for anything, suppose in Google, then that site would only give you a text, okay, just like this. Right now you are watching this PDF, right? So only the visual form of text, okay, the visual only you can see is visual, and you can do nothing, okay, no editing, no uploading, anything. But when it comes to web 2.0, okay, web 2.0 is the right now internet where all websites exist. You can read, write, edit, do anything. It's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, WordPress, Framer, Figma, anything. Anything you are using right now in the internet is exist under web 2.0. Now if we can do anything in web 2.0, then why do we need web 3.0, right? Well, that's the secret of web 3.0, guys. Web 3.0, actually it is the future of our internet, okay, it is in the future. Right now it is not completely, commercialized way, but it is the future in terms of web 2.0, okay. On those sites someone can delete your data or your account, right? In web 2.0, if you are in the Instagram, right, you have your own account, but Instagram have this authority to delete your existence in your account, right? It can be the owner of the site or a hacker, they can remove your existence from the internet. But in web 3.0, the design aims to give total ownership to the user, total ownership of the user, that person can't delete your things, okay. The control of information by locking mechanism and keys, these are cryptographic keys. Don't worry, we will talk about it in the future. And just comment if you want a full explanation of that, I can easily give you, okay. But right now we are going much more deeper because we have to cover other things faster, and then one by one we will go deeper on all sort of topics, okay. So web 3.0, we are going to come again. Yeah, so this is the evolution of the web, okay. In the 1991 we had web 1.0 launched, set static web pages. In 2004 there is very less difference, okay. In 2004 web 2.0 emerged, enabling user generated content and interactivity. In 2019, rise of web 3.0 began, focusing on decentralization and ownership, okay. 2021 growth of AI integration started reshaping online interaction. You know already about that. AI is helping you doing anything. In 2025, the present time, web 3.0 is gains traction, enhancing security, user sovereignty. In today's time, if you are looking for any like dev jobs, okay, there will be like expectation that you know about 3.0, okay, web 3.0. And mostly people think that web 3.0 is just about blockchain. Yeah, it is, but there are so many other stuff. It is not just about blockchain. So let's move to the HTTP and the request response cycle, okay. So audience, HTTP full form is hypertext transfer protocol, okay. Don't focus on the full form, you will remember it anyway after this. HTTP is a set of rules agreed upon early by the creators and standards bodies around the internet and browsers. So those who are making this internet, they decided what kind of protocols they are going to use, rules for how data should be transferred on the web, and how can we track other devices, okay, how request and response should work. These rules are implemented in your browser, okay, and supported by your operating system networking stack. So no matter what OS you use, they all follow defined rules for how data transfer should work in the browser. Okay, so it is HTTP. What I am talking about, in your browser, in your particular laptop, okay, if this is your laptop, you have your own OS, right? OS can be Windows or Apple iOS, right? Mac. So the browser and the operating system follow certain rules for data transmission. Those rules are called HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol. And where those rules exist, in your OS. Okay, simple. So and now what do we mean by the HTTP request response cycle? This thing. Okay, what does that mean? So the thing is that HTTP response cycle, this is nothing but the cycle we already learned so many times. Okay, request is what? The client. Response is what? The server. Okay, request is sent by client, means user, and the server is what? That particular computer which is on for 24/7. That's the thing. So say yes, the client sends the data request and the server sends back to the response. Done. And this data transfer process on the web uses HTTP protocol. Okay, HTTP protocol. They uses HTTP protocol. That's it, guys. I believe you understand what topics I covered today. It's pretty simple, easy. Some of the things from the first video repeated, which kind of makes it's easy to understand and get into your long-term memory easily. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. That's it for today's. Like, I have nothing to say for anything. Like, I gave you all the things for today's topic. We will go deeper and learn newer terms of the internet. This series still in the continuation. Next video we will talk about the holistic process of server response, types of websites. Okay, different types of website, and process of server response, web hosting, routing, other famous and useful protocols like TCP, UDP, in the most simplest way. Okay, and we will end that video with HTTP versions and the difference between proxy and VPN, which is not written here. I don't know if I have written here or not. No, I didn't even written here, but don't worry, that I'm talking about HTTPS. Okay, HTTPS and proxy and VPN. So we will talk about that too. So please be ready. So the next video will be jam packed with lots of information and deep topics. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Like, I'm Akash, here always to teach you topics in the most simplest manner. With the next video we will end the how internet works series. So this can be a repetitive thing, you think that it is repetiting, but no, next video is not going to be have that repetition. So it's just the start. We are just reaching the surface and touching the depth a little bit, but then we will go to the depth of the tech and product development, because these videos are going to help us to learn deeper things in the next boot camps. Okay, I am going to make a boot camp, a playlist kind of a series. It's just right now I'm not going to expose everything, but this is coming. Okay, this is the future plan which is coming. So be ready, keep it simple, build it bold.